Okay, here we are live. Hello, hello everyone. This is Dr. Monica, and we are here in Unlimited Network Mastermind that we do every week, every Saturday at 10 a.m. And this time together is around 1 hour. This time together is really dedicated to what I call conscious entrepreneurs, but only because the conscious entrepreneurs are the one that looks to me that they have the right to dream, to manifest their dreams and their desires. That today we are going to learn a lot about that, but that are motivated if you want to expand and to let go of limitations, and they already have the call inside for more. So I'm very happy and to be here, and I welcome all of you, whoever is listening to this recording live right now or during the week. You know that we have all these masterminds recorded under unlimitednetwork.com. You can find them. So, and also if you want to be here in the panel with us, that you can engage a little more, even though I think this book is so deep, okay, that we are here, the ones that we are super engaged with, curious, about manifesting and really acquire, if we want, the mastery of being it all and having it all and, enjoy our life maximum. So you have to, if you want to be here in the panel, you have to email Arne, A-R-N-E, at unlimitednetwork.com. And here we are studying this book, The Abundance Book, with Lawrence Crane. Amazing book. I just would like to recall here the practice that we had for last week that was very powerful to me. First, I think it's all about awareness. I'm very amazed, but last week we were studying here about, or understanding deeper about, the power of letting go, release. We are opening our doors to the release technique, and how every time that you are not in a peaceful, happy, joyful way, something is going on. So we learned last week how to disconnect from our mind, like to put the head down if you want, and to focus on your heart and your belly, to allow whatever emotion is there, whatever energy is there that is a limiting one that brings us discomfort, to be released. And that's what we practice, and I hope you did, and for sure I did, and I had many moments. It's so funny how many moments I can stop and to just, it's funny because the first thing that I realized here is that the fact that I stop to look for, to go down and to go inwards, if you want, to allow that pipe of oil or that window dove that was coming out from the window. And if you are not familiar with this, go and look. The recording of the last week was very powerful, But to me, it's like just the fact to stop about this is already bringing awareness to what is. And so I love the dance and the simplicity of the delete button that we learned last week. And today we are going to keep going, progressing, and we are going to start with chapter 5. And here we have Doc Fran to help us with not only reading, but to really understand how we can apply this. Remember that in our masterminds, we are not just reading a book. We do want to integrate, to be it, to master, if you want, the teachings of the books that we pick here. And this is one of them. So welcome everyone again. Today, I hope I said, it's March 12th, 2016, but here we are all together, and let's go for it. Doc Fran, are you ready?
Good morning. I am ready.
Good. Welcome, Doc Fran.
Thank you. And how are you guys today?
Good. I mean, I'm excited, and like I see this book, Doc Fran, as it's like, woohoo, another powerful perspective. And again, I love, the idea. Welcome, Candace. I love the idea, Doc Fran, of using this conscious entrepreneur or conscious prosperity consciousness, that I love to call it, as an excuse, in quotes, for our enlightenment, to really wake up in our true nature. And I can see how this book is offering that opportunity. So enlightenment is not anymore in the caves well, it can be anywhere, but not only on the caves of the Himalayas or ashrams or monasteries, but today in the middle of the street, doing business, and engaging with our life of today. So I just feel very happy that we have this model, if you want, or this opportunity to understand how we apply our own beingness, capital letters, in our daily, daily life of today, not of, in the past. So very happy. I'm excited. What about you, Candace and Arne?
So you mean I don't have to sit on the top of a barren mountain in the Himalayas to achieve enlightenment?
That's what I think this book is really saying, even though, yes,
that's reassuring.
I think you brought the mountain to you, Doc Fran.
You're so sweet. Well, I'll tell you, it's been a very interesting week this week after doing last week's chapter. And I have to tell you, I did not get upset about a single thing all week long. It was a really amazing week.
Woo-hoo!
And we did the funniest thing, and I'll just say this is noteworthy. Nancy called me and said, "Oh, you've got to go outside and look at the moon setting because it's setting right over the water behind our house." So I go out back, I slide the screen door open, and I leave it open, and I go outside. So when I'm out there, my two neighbors are standing there watching the moon set. So we're talking for a couple of minutes, and then Nancy comes home, and she comes outside. Well, when we turned to go back in, I was in front. And having remembered opening the screen door and leaving it open, I walked straight through the screen door. And instead of cursing and swearing and being very angry with myself, I just burst out laughing. And I said, "Nancy, I didn't realize you closed the door." So anyway, it was a totally different reaction. And it really is fun when you just laugh at things that happen rather than react to things that happen. So.
Wow, how beautiful, Dr. Fran. I love that it's real, that is in our own daily life,
Yeah,
Thank you for sharing that. Beautiful.
Another adventure.
Another adventure. Oh, after the call, I'll share our sailing adventures from the other day. It was quite exhilarating. So. And we survived to tell the story, so that'd be fun to tell a bit.
Adventure after adventure, that's life.
All right. Well, let's go right in. I'll tell you, these are very action-packed chapters. We're going to actually do 5 and 6. And in the discussion with Dr. Monica and Arne at the beginning, I think she hit on a very brilliant approach to incorporating these two chapters. They're very short, but they're incredibly intense. And so I'm just going to read straight through the first time, and then we'll start back through, and we'll actually use chapter 6 to do our homework for the week and prepare us for the discussion on that next Saturday. Is that how you remember it, Dr. Monica?
Yes, I think that's perfect because it's intense, so to have a little time to integrate here. We can pick, there is an exercise on chapter 6. I think we can pick one thing just to practice during the lecture, but it's beautiful, perfect.
All right, great. So let's go through then. Chapter 5, dumping negativity and letting go of resistance. When one learns by actually experiencing it that the mind is only reactive, he then holds in mind only the things he wants and never takes thought for the things he doesn't want. In this chapter, we're going to be going even deeper into the releasing activity. In the preceding chapter, we looked at the negative energy in the form of feelings we have trapped in our stomachs and chests, finding that by acknowledging them and putting a magical conduit into this unwanted energy, and I think we decided that it was a far easier visualization to use the window metaphor, where we open a window and let the unwanted energy out. We could allow that energy to surface and pass through easily. Always see it as passing through. It's not good, it's not bad, it's just phenomena. By doing this continuously, you will begin to notice you are feeling much lighter about situations and people who previously used to bother you. If you've not experienced this yet, do not be concerned. Either return to the previous chapter and repeat the instructions,
Hello, I don't know if we lost Doc Fran just for a moment right here. Can you hear me, Candace? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, okay, great. Okay, well, I don't know what happened here, but technology is one of the things that we are just allowing us to support us, you know, here. But sometimes we get a little cut off, and I don't know what happened now with Doc Fran. So let's wait for a minute, and meanwhile we can ponder, you know, on all these amazing, just the sentence that says, you know, it is not, let me see, what we were saying right now, it's not good or bad, you know, it's just what is. It's so impersonal to me. It's like I just love the truth of that, you know. It's nothing is good or bad except if my mind comes in and judge it, you know. Oh, this is good, this is bad. But if we don't engage from that, like we are learning here, you know, just down, put your head down, so disconnect with your mental body, right? And then start to just allowing what is in the moment. I mean, we can say we can hear the same words from Eckhart Tolle, The Power of Now, you know, or any other spiritual teacher. So I love this book that unites, you know, these two topics that some spiritual beings here we have trouble with, uniting spirituality and the material world or abundance, you know. So here we do. It's like when something is going on in us, it's not good or bad. It's just what it is, okay? It's impersonal. It's important to understand that. So let's see, what else can we go here? I'm going to read myself, even though what he has read here, so we can keep going and maybe checking what's going on with Doc Fran. Yes, to see. Maybe he lost internet or who knows. But yeah, we keep going here a little bit, and says, to repeat what he said, but to get the momentum here, is like always see it as passing through. It is not good, it is not bad, it is just phenomena, okay? Period. Like a cloud in the sky, okay? You are the sky and this is a cloud passing. Don't grasp it, do nothing with it. By doing this continuously, okay, you will begin to notice that you are feeling much lighter about situations and people. Here it is. Welcome, welcome.
Yeah, it said that one of the participants removed me from the call and it would not allow me to re-enter the call. I had to come in as Doc Fran instead of join Doc Fran.
Okay, so maybe we have some phenomena to let pass through or something.
I don't know.
I was just reading again what you were reading, Doc Fran, because I think it's so powerful that it's not personal, it's just phenomena, you know, like it is not good, it is not bad, it is just phenomena, and I will just stop there. So maybe you can take it from there?
All right, where are you still on page 27?
Yes, just at the beginning, because I was trying to integrate what you were saying here. Okay. Yeah, so that's good.
All right, good. Well, then I'll pick it up right there.
Fantastic.
So remember, releasing is something that we all naturally use, but we use it unconsciously. With continual practice, we begin to use it consciously. Releasing is a method for rapid, on-the-spot change. It's quite easy and only takes seconds to do. You will soon find that you can diffuse any problems in your life as they arise simply by releasing. Now, let us look at resistance. What stops us from having all the good things in life? What stops us from releasing all the time? Picture someone you've been resisting. Recall what you just don't like about that person. Now think again about that person and really feel the resistance within. Notice where it shows up. Does it feel like a clutching sensation in your stomach or chest? Now ask yourself, could I let go of clutching? Just let it go. Release it. Allow that energy to pass through. Could you let go of resisting some more and more and more? Let me show you how to do some introspection about resisting someone. If you are resisting someone or something, you're experiencing a push. Ask yourself, who is actually the pusher? Perhaps if you were not resisting, you would not experience a push. That's something to ponder. The approach can be compared to the martial arts practices of Aikido, Karate, Judo, or Tai Chi. By using the release technique, you will be able to diffuse an opposing force without having to waste energy necessary to counter-control the pushing force. In other words, you can use the technique during an argument and find yourself in control simply by letting go. Take a check. Test this yourself and see if it's not so. In any event, just by feeling your resistance and letting go, that energy too will just pass through.
I want to say something here, Doc Fran, just because I think experience is for sure the one that is teaching me in a deeper level, you know. So to have the courage to practice this and to explore, you know, everyone will take his thing, but it's so beautiful. Like I catch myself last week, you know, like getting irritated and whatever, and I could do just a gesture, you know, because I'm practicing the gesture. I said, okay. So to say okay and to look, you know, in the place of me that can just be was incredible. So I feel like to develop that choice, like it says right here, you know, in every time, you know, you can do that every time. And I just love that. It's so true, you know. I can choose that. I can really choose to don't fight it, you know, don't engage anymore there, you know. Let's see what it is that I have to release here. So I just want to acknowledge that because it is practical. Thank you.
Well, I'm glad you did, because that's a really powerful and important realization. I mean, these things are not easy to do. They're simple, but they're not easy. It does take practice. And every time you get that exhilarating realization that you just did it that time, you just did it. Well, every time you do it, it's like riding a bike. It gets easier to do time and time again. But the important thing is most people will never acknowledge that they just did it. They just simply allow themselves to be frustrated that they just can't do it. This is just mumbo jumbo, and this is a bunch of crap, and it just doesn't work, you know? So anyway.
Thank you. Yes.
All right. Now, think of someone else you've been resisting. Notice you are clutching in your stomach or in your chest. Tilt your head down and allow that unwanted energy to come up and pass through the window you open there. I added that. And more. Could you let go of clutching? Could you let go of resisting? Just allow that unwanted energy to pass through. It really wants to leave. It's not good, it's not bad, it's just phenomena passing through. And more, and even more. To illustrate, let's take the case of Mark, a man in his 30s who worked his way up the corporate ladder of a telecommunications company. He found himself being passed by for promotions time and again, which angered and perplexed him. After taking the release course, he realized that he'd been sabotaging himself in two ways. First, he was resentful of his boss and acted indignant and defiantly argumentative. Great. He created a very unapproachable wall around himself and was increasingly more uncooperative and explosive. This in turn made him an unlikely candidate for promotion. Second, he discovered a program in his mind that came from a negative and demeaning father who had told him repeatedly he would never amount to anything. That's the most terrible stuff you can ever do to your child, is to demean them and tell them that they can't do or aren't worthy. It's just a terrible, terrible engram to put in kids. He saw how subconsciously he made sure to stay in a lowly position so his supposed incompetence would not be found out. Upon these realizations, he released these programs and almost overnight changed his situation. Soon after, he was promoted to a senior vice president. In any conflict, it's important to look for the clutching, the resisting, because if one is resisting, one is experiencing a push from the other. We need to clearly see this. It is our resistance that causes us to experience a push from another person. So who is the pusher if you are not resisting? When you just let go of clutching and allow that energy to pass through, you will see that you will not experience a push. Carl Jung, the noted psychologist, posed the question, is it the things going on around you that are causing you distress, or is it your reaction to them? So I want to be clear on that. Does everyone get the answer to the question he asks, who is the pusher?
Who is the first, the egg or the chicken?
Well, I can only share what happens to me, and I brought a person just right now, and I was closing my eyes, and then I can see the closing is like I'm pushing that person away, and when I ask who is pushing,
All right, I think we dropped Monica's transmission there. What occurs to me is, of course, that
I'm
we...
back?
All right, are you back?
Yes, I think so. Can you hear me?
I hear you now.
Yes. So I was just sharing just for a minute here because I think I need to explore this more to really get it, but to practice here is almost like, okay, was like not really, it's like it's not me, I don't know in what sense I can explain that, but it was easy to just let it go, So there is more space there, that absolutely. So that's one thing that I wanted to share, like I need to explore this more, like who is the one, resisting here, I don't know who is that one, but when I explore, I cannot, catch it in a solid way that I can blame it or just ask, please release, it's just I don't know what it is there. But one thing that I see is very important too is what you said at the end, what we read here about is important to look for the clenching. There is so many positive people, that are afraid of the negative. It's like you can be very positive, but not because you are afraid or you judge the negative, or the limitations. And I would like to claim that so, like publicly, like face it, like have the courage to be the light of the world, of your life, and look at whatever it is that is constrictive here, because it's the only way that we are going to release it, really, So this is a message for all the positive aspect in us that never wants to focus, and I'm saying here is not to focus on the negative to run the show and to argue it and to really make it more real, but to be honest with our experience, is expansive or is constrictive, and if it's constrictive, you are the one that can bring light to that or release it in our words here, I wanted to share that. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Candace.
I was thinking, I've really noticed that this week, Monica, what you were just saying about how one has to find their own balance on how, as a positive person, how much attention am I going to give to something that's right in my face that needs tidying up. Maybe it's a negative or an energy or something, and I can let it pass by and love it and bless it and do all the things I do with it and release it for sure. And to take that moment to notice it and call it for what it is, I think sometimes is really helpful. I know some of our studies have said not to, but I need that because it provides the contrast for my more positivity, which wasn't why I got on to begin with to talk about. I wanted to talk about me. I'm the pusher. I'm the one that pushes. Who else could it be? I'll look over my shoulder and see if there's anybody standing there, but really, another deep breath and relaxing into that and allowing that to release. Helps me move through something a little more quickly. And also this darling universe that I love so much.
Need to get that. Hello?
Provided me with plenty of opportunities to practice my releasing this week. I just wanted to throw that in there for fun.
Oh, what a wonderful universe.
So, you done, Candice? Yeah. So for me, it like we said, to not hold on is another way of saying to be in the flow. Life is movement. death is non-movement. So as long as we're in the flow, when people are pushing against us or not pushing against us, or whether we are resisting that, as soon as we resist, we become the pusher. Now, does that mean that they are not pushing? Well, I don't know. So it's the same like pulling ropes. Two people are holding one end of a rope, and they're pulling back. No, I'm right. No, I'm right. No, I'm right. And you're pulling. And so both people are pulling. But if one person just lets go of the rope, well, I'm not experiencing pulling or pushing.
Yeah, that was a good analogy, Arne. You dropped your transmission, just let go. So, you know, Candace, you really had a great insight, and that's what seems to me is absolutely the case. I mean, we are, of course, perceiving everything in our mind, and the only beings that can create thought in your mind is yourself. So your resistance that you put up causes a reaction in your mind, which is the push that they're describing here. So we are at once the source of our resistance and the source of our annoyance simultaneously. And like Arne said, that's not to say that there aren't some people out there that deliberately push against you or deliberately try and irritate you. And you know, it is an interesting tactic if you simply don't let them irritate you. And it takes a lot of self-control to do that, because there are some really irritating people out there. So anyway, all right, good. Are we good to move on then with the with chapter 6? Great. Chapter 6, the keys to empowerment. Wanting equals lacking. We should strive to attain a desireless state. As long as we have desire, we lack. Lack and want are the same thing. Wanting traps us in a world of limitation. Wanting is the greatest enemy of joy. Interesting. Lester Levinson. During the year 527 BC in the Orient, Buddha enunciated the Four Noble Truths. 1. Life is suffering. 2. The cause of suffering is desire. 3. Ending desire ends suffering. And 4. Desire is ended by following the Eightfold Noble Path. 2,500 years later, we still desire. Our society teaches us to desire, to want things, and to work to get things. So we may be happy. Capitalism is based on fostering desires for goods and getting love through having possessions, money, knowledge, or power. We are a culture of desire and fulfilling desire. This is not surprising. We have not learned the lesson of love taught by Christ 2 millennia ago either. Both teachings reach the same point in the end, to become desireless, to not want anything external to ourselves, means we rest in ourselves, whole, joyous, happy. In this state, our true nature is constant love, unending love, giving love. When we reach this desireless state, we feel like we have it all. And I have to add parenthetically that it's a lot easier to have the illusion of that state of mind when you live in a great big paid-for house with a beautiful car and a nice boat, and you travel to exotic places, and you have wealthy friends, and life is great and abundant.
You know, pardon.
Doc Fran, good point. And I think what the teachings are from these old masters is not that we shouldn't have this. I think the word desire is misused translation, or our interpretation of desire. So a desire in the form of need A desire in the form of a response to life. I'm here, somebody comes in and reach out their hand to shake my hand, and my desire is to shake their hand, so I reach out my hand to that kind of desire is a response to what is going on, but it's still, yes, I want to shake that person's hand or kiss Monica's lips. So, but is it? Oh, yeah, I might need that. But sorry, but it's not a good example. But the need and the attachment to, if I don't have it, then I'm unhappy and I'm lacking. That is a problem. So I think the word desire is has to be really defined on what is meant in there, because I know masters today that they desire to help people. They desire to have an ecologically friendly life. They desire to create energy that is supportive to everyone, and so on. So there are desires, but they are not needs. They are not attachments if I don't have. So it has to be defined. So having your house and boat and travel and all that, that's appropriate, unless you start to live in that world. I don't have it yet, I need it, and then you create suffering for yourself. But if you just have, wow, that would be cool, and if something goes, oh, that's not happening. I love to have my door, my like you had on your porch there, and now you don't have one. But you're okay with that. You're not suffering from, oh shit, being upset about it. Oh my God, this is an interesting adventure. Let's see where that takes us. So that's me.
No, that's a great point. And to your point, I'm not suffering from the lack of the door. I'm suffering from the beating I got from Nancy for walking through it. That's a
let's release.
So, but I think you make a good point. I think probably, and maybe more accurately, but we'll find out. We'll reserve judgment. But I agree with where you're going in your thought process, that perhaps desire in and of itself is neither good nor bad, and the suffering comes with unrequited desire, where it goes through and you never have a sense of fulfillment to it. So let's see where Lester and Lawrence Crane takes us here. So Lester Levinson attained his own enlightenment and mastered a desireless state. We are very fortunate to be recipients of a method he designed precisely with us in mind, products of the 20th and 21st centuries, with our inquisitive, high-tech, low-patience personality types. According to Lester, the practical key to mastering desire is realizing that, 1, the absence of desire is serenity. Desire is a bottomless pit that can never be filled up. Desire is the mother of all emotions, the disturber of all peace. Desire is the disturbance of one's natural inherent peace and joy. Desire keeps one involved in trying to satiate the desires, consequently detracting one from his constant natural inherent happiness. In short, desire is the enemy of happiness and the source of misery. Desire is... Go ahead.
Now, years after the book was written, Abraham Hicks has taught me, at least, that the desire to not have desire is still a desire. So we kind of get stuck with that. So there is the flow, and the issue is when the flow is stopped. I need, I must have, I can't have, all that. Instead of serenity is we're in the flow, and that might show up as desire, not as need, but as a desire.
Yep.
So.
No, believe me, Arnie, it's a lot of it hinges on semantics, and there's a lot of conundrums. And you'll read one author who says this, and the next author will take the exact same topic and say the exact opposite as the absolute truth. So interesting. That's what makes this a lovely journey and a lovely adventure. Desire is the start of all agitation. Desire is an artificially created lack. I like that one. Desire is the source of all trouble. Desire is a mind disquieter. Desire only leads to misery and death. If one will stop thinking of something, the desire for it will disappear, and he will have it. Now, let us look at the subject of desire or wanting. Take a few minutes to make a list of the things you want in your life. Then make a list of the things you have in your life. List as many things as you can think of for each category. Wanting is lack or the sensation of lacking. Want equals lack. Want equals desire. Wanting is the opposite of having. Wanting is holding you back from having everything in life. Question: what value at all have you ever received from this sensation of lacking or want? Everyone wants something that arises from the pain of not having. So why not let it go and have it all? So, wanting is the exact opposite of having. Can anyone stand up and sit down at the same time? Is it ever possible? You will notice that the things you want in life are the very things you do not have. Do you ever wonder why? Interesting. And you know, there is some point to that, because we've talked about the fact that we take breathing for granted. We take the fact that our heart beats continuously for granted. But I'll guarantee you, the minute you take a breath and can't get it in because there's no oxygen there to breathe, you're going to have a very strong desire and want for oxygen.
Yeah.
So, and I don't know, it just keyed me in that, you know, we're playing again with gratitude. That's really where I think we're going to find some solution to the conundrum of desire, is when we can truly live in a sensation, a state of mind of awareness of abundance in all aspects of our life and gratitude for what is in our life. So,
I have a thought. Okay?
Yeah, go ahead.
So I have a thought of my yacht coming up into my head, and then, or I have a thought that I want to stand up. I'm not standing up yet, right? I'm just having the thought going through. Is that a desire? Is that a want? Is that something I shouldn't have, couldn't have? Or is that, oh, I would like to, a thought is, I would like to have my yacht. And then next moment is, well, I am saying hello to my good friend. The next moment, I am out walking in the jungle. But that moment when I had the thought about the yacht, now if I changed my life and became like, I don't have my yacht, now I have to go out to work hard for it and all that. If I jumped on the bandwagon of that thought, then it would become a problem. But I don't see how I can actually control every thought in my head not to show up. I can control if I'm going to run after it or not. But if it shows up in itself and I let it go, it comes and goes. I will see more in the book here, but I would see that it would be a normal phenomena.
Well, you know, you're right back to the difference. This is a very different viewpoint on desire. And having spent a lot of time in Esther Hicks and Abraham, you know, rockets of desire are what are the source of all creation in our life. So is that a good thing or a bad thing, you know? And it's really fascinating. But this is what makes it so exciting to do this kind of introspective journey, and to continue to expand our awareness and consciousness of this phenomenon that we are existing in. Again, back to one of my favorite topics, the duality of our true nature, spiritual and physical.
I just want to say one thing because can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Oh, you left again.
Yeah, but I.
Okay. Well, I just wanted to say one thing here about you know, it's so interesting that Abraham Hicks reporting the desire, and here to me, I think honestly that all these two approaches, let's say, to express the truth, they are expressing the same truth, because Abraham is supporting us to desire to enjoy the desire, because it's supporting us to understand that we are all. So you don't desire something that you don't have. The opposite. They are teaching us, if you desire something, higher up your frequency to match that desire. So at the end, you're mastering the energetic being that you are. So the question that I see is like, again, if we engage from with desire from not having it or not being it, then suffering is here. If we engage from a, you know, suddenly there is a sense of, oh, expansion, I would love to go there, I would love to do a safari in Africa, for example, you know, and I really come from the total conviction, you know, that I am all and that everything is possible and everything is easy and flowing. I will not be worried about it, you know. So I love to deepen in more into the aspect where desire can be a trap. And I tell you, for me, that I'm looking the financial freedom now 5 years ago, I started with this journey more consciously, let's say. I can see that if I look for financial freedom, it's because I don't have it. So I love to see, okay, let go financial freedom right now, you know, because I come from not having it. So it's not something that I can really experience, and practice to be more of who I am. That is all, financial freedom included. So Abraham Hicks always said to us, you know, when you send out a desire, that's already there. You don't get a desire by accident. So the question is, don't grasp it as I don't have it and I have to make it, and then you run the show from effort and struggle and having to make it, instead of allow it. That is the same thing that it says here. You know, at the end, I don't know what it was saying here. And then you wanted life. You will notice that the things you want in life are the very things you don't. No, that's not what I was reading. But it says something like, you know, as soon as you let go of the desire, you will have it. So I want to keep reading here because I think that is an incredible, powerful language for our minds, really, to let go of the attachment to desire and to understand that we can engage from scarcity, that is the suffering, I will say, from separation, that is the suffering, or we can engage from the understanding that if you want something, it's because you don't have it. So let's erase the resistance of not having it, I suppose. I don't know, but that's what I'm so curious about reading the book, you know. So I don't know if to keep reading here. I think.
Well, I'd like to say.
Candace, yes, please, Candace. Sorry, I didn't see the microphone.
I recently had a time in Florida where I could kind of do whatever I wanted. You might want to know that there was something of a budget involved, but not, you know, but somewhere in my travels, I just popped through a level and in my own mind and said, oh, I am financially free. I can choose to go anywhere I want right this moment. I can do it. I have money to work with, and I spent time fully accepting myself as financially free right here and now, in that moment. And that's carried with me to an extent. Am I still watching my pocketbook a little bit? You know, do I have the millions dripping over the infinity pool? Not, well, yes, I do, somewhere. And so being financially free for me has already started. And I'm really grateful for that.
Congratulations! That's a beautiful sensation.
I want to share that with everybody because it's what I have, because I have that now.
Exactly.
At the end of that experience, I was wanting it, and then all of a sudden I had it. And it was
beautiful.
in my mind.
Beautiful. Beautiful. I love it. I love it. To me, the way I notice, I mean, congratulations, because these are the steps that suddenly you start to notice, you know, like, oh, no more worries, no more fear, no more scarcity consciousness, right? To me, I also notice, like, you know, there is less fear, there is less worry. We talk about money nicely, Arne and I. It's different, you know, it's a different level of consciousness, much more safe, not because money, safe because I am safety, you know, much more free to choose whatever it is. Okay, let's do this, let's do that, but not because money, because I am freedom. You know, it's so beautiful. So I'm very grateful to the journey of conscious entrepreneur that is helping us to, from my perspective, to unite these two worlds. You know, the old way of entrepreneur, I think, was very proud of making it happen, you know. And all this effort, you know, like I did it, you know, look at me, you know, I more entity, you know, more, I don't know, sense of little self, right? Me, let's say. I think to me, like now, the conscious entrepreneur is really dumping that approach, you know, and to really go into the heart and to find a way of being in alignment with spirit, with our true nature, you know. So I love that progress, and we are pioneers on that. So thank you. Beautiful. So
I was driving through France with my Tibetan teacher, Khenpo Rinpoche, many years ago, and we were going on this ridge, and he says, stop the car, and then he goes out, and this beautiful valley with vineyards and roses and everything, and he just took a breath, and then he looks at me and he says, "This is all mine." And I said, are you nuts? What are you doing? It's not yours. It's all mine. And then I was thinking about it a lot. So, well, in that moment, it was all his because he was the experiencer of it. You know, that whether he has it on a piece of paper that somebody says he owns it or not, but in his consciousness, in his mind, in his experience, he owned that whole thing. So I think if it's fits together all the things that you know, is it desire good or not good, we have to see, are we feeling attached to it, are we feeling tension, are we feeling resistance? I resist because I don't want to let go, or I resist because I want to create something that's not here. You know, we can actually look inside ourselves and see if there is a resistance or if there is a problem in our life. If there is no problem, I think it can be okay, no?
Beautiful. Let us keep reading here because it's fascinating what is coming now. So just let's see if we can advance a little bit and really take the teachings from the book, see what we get here. But it says, the old adage, I think, of, in quotes, the rich get richer and the poor get poorer, we already heard that, can easily be explained. A rich person is holding in mind, I have money. He does not want it. His consciousness is, I have it. A poor person is forever wanting it, and therefore he's creating lack. So know that want equals lack, period. What is lacking feeling? What is a lacking feeling? No, excuse me. Want is a lacking feeling. It is not suggested that you let go of wanting so that you end up with nothing. It is merely pointed out that if we let go of wanting, we would have it. This is a real dilemma for the mind. I love it. Let us now take a look at one of the things that you have on your want list, things you do not have. Let's play with my financial freedom, just to give an example here. But this is something that I would like for all of us to practice for the next Saturday, so we can, you know, comment and see how it works for us, okay? But put your head down or put your hand on your feeling center, on your stomach or chest, and notice that it brings up a lacking feeling in your stomach or chest. Yes, I don't have it in quote. This wanting brings up a lacking feeling. Now, allow that lacking feeling to come up. It wants to leave, remember. And allow it to pass through. And more, and even more. In Psalm 23, it says, in quotes, the Lord is my shepherd. I shall not want. Thou preparest a table before me, my cup run over. in quotes. Socrates said, real happiness is having, no wants. And now, consider that same item on your want list. Notice if it is now more possible or less possible to have it now that you have released some unwanted energy connected to that desire. I love it. Keep releasing the want until you feel, can you hear me?
Yes.
Eh?
Yes.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. Keep releasing the want until you feel like you can have or not have it and the suffering is gone from your stomach or chest area. Once we let go of the wanting, we begin to see that we have entered a realm of havingness, and we begin to feel that it is easier to have the things we previously thought were unattainable. So it's beautiful. Desire's nature, we continue here. First, to want something means we feel we don't have it. We feel, okay? We feel empty, lonely, lacking or deprived, and we believe if we possess that object or had that experience, we did feel filled up and we will be happy. So behind all desire and seeking is 1, a motivation to be happy, and 2, a belief that that happiness lies in desire's fulfillment. On the contrary, desire is, capital letter, is the problem. Being in a state of desire is suffering, wanting, lacking, hurting, and looking to a future time when we will have the want and be happy. Want is the opposite of having. In this course, we will teach you how to master the dynamics of desire and wanting, in parentheses, a lack feeling. It is perfectly okay to have anything. The having, in quote, is not the problem. The problem is wanting and lacking feelings, which causes pain and inhibits receiving. Check the list of wants you have made and see if there is pain there for not having it. Notice, it's everything you don't have. So the solution to the problem of wants and desire is threefold. 1, we let go of the want in order to end the pain of desire, which allows 2, the receiving of what formerly was a want and allow us to hold in mind having, capital letters, which allows it to come to you. Lastly, 3rd, feeling already complete, we may decide to let go of attaining that which was so important just moments before because we already feel happy right now. You can have it all. If you want anything at all, you can have it, providing you let go of wanting it. Releasing feelings and desires leads to first-hand understanding of the true nature of thinking, emotions, wants, and desires. All these occur only in our mind. This is so powerful, okay? Only our belief in their being real, in parentheses, and the importance of thinking, feeling, wants, and desires, close parentheses, gives them any reality. Once we see that they are not real, but simply feelings, we begin to experience the ultimate state we all seek, that of happiness with no sorrow, love, joy, or havingness. When the mind which creates everything is quiet, we become happy, complete, and joyous. You are not who you think you are. You are not your feelings. All that you believe or perceive about want is an illusion. Simply release and find out that what you think is simply a feeling. The mind is like an oven. Does an oven care what it bakes? If you put a shoe in the oven and turn it on, it bakes the shoe. The same thing applies to the mind. It does not care what you put in. It simply creates what you hold in mind. So now let's see how we can correct this misunderstanding and turn wants into having. A definition of wants. 1. Although wants are not feelings, they definitely have Okay, we are back?
Yes, back.
Okay, I'm sorry about this technology thing, really. I apologize about that, but we are going to fix it by having it fixed already. I don't know how that works. But a definition of wants, okay, we were done. 1. Although wants are not feelings, they definitely have a feel, in quotes, to them. Wanting approval has a kind of gim, in quotes, feeling to it, a kind of soft neediness. Wanting control, on the other hand, has harder feeling. It is a little more push and assertive. 2. Remember that a want is a lack. 3. Remember that there is nothing wrong with giving or receiving approval or being in control. It is not the actual state that limits us, but the wanting, in quotes, it. 4. Releasing on the wants is more powerful and deeper than releasing on the emotion and feelings. When you let go of a want, you are letting go of a piece of everything on the chart. 5. All pain and misery comes from wanting approval and control. Highlight that, okay? Which is another way of saying wanting love, in quotes. All joy and bliss comes from giving approval and giving up wanting control, which is another way of saying giving love, in quotes. 6. Control is not bad. It is the wanting, lacking in parentheses, control that we need to release. It's okay to be in control all the time. Just let go of the lacking feeling. Approval is not bad. Have all the approval you want. What's off is the wanting, lacking approval. Just let go of the wanting, lacking approval, and you will have it. Being safe and secure is what you want. It is the wanting, lacking to be safe and the wanting, lacking to be secure that is off. Do we get it? This is so powerful. I love it. So let us examine wants, in quotes, a little more. Take a look at that thing you want so badly. Notice you have an unwanted energy in your stomach and chest, a lacking feeling. Could you just allow that lacking feeling to come up and allow it to pass through? And more, and even more? Now, take a check and see if you feel a little lighter about that wanting. If not, put your magical tube deeper into that energy and see if that unwanted energy is still there. Remember, want equals lack. It is actually a lacking feeling that you are holding on to. Could you allow that lacking feeling to leave? It wants to leave. It will leave from your stomach or your chest area. Just allow that feeling to come up and allow it to pass through. Now, continue releasing on the other item your list of wants as you concentrate on each of these wants or desires until tilt your head down, not if you are clutching or resisting, and invite the unwanted energy to come up and allow it to pass through. Work on these items one by one. This is something that I would like all of us, I will do for sure, to do this week. So next week we can talk about, okay? But have the courage to make the list of all the things that you want. Don't judge yourself because you want it, because then we don't heal anything. And then see if there is any lack, if you really engage from not having it, and let go of that scarcity thought. Happiness is our basic nature. We becloud that basic line here. Now I'm in? Yeah. Yes? Okay, perfect. Just 2 paragraphs and we finish this chapter, and I think we have to read it again, honestly, but I mean, it's powerful, powerful. Happiness is our basic nature. We becloud that basic nature with thoughts. Thoughts of lack, thoughts of want. When we want something, our mind becomes active in trying to acquire that, and we are unhappy because we lack something that we say we must have. So we create unhappiness through desire. All unhappiness starts with desire. All trouble in the universe starts with desire. Because basically, we are perfect. We are perfect, full, complete, whole. We did nothing. We need nothing until we artificially create need and then become unhappy, thinking, how can we fulfill that end? But now, after that artificial unhappiness is set into motion, we call happiness undoing the unhappiness. That's what people consider happiness today. Happiness is undoing the artificially created unhappiness. So we satisfy these thoughts of desire, and momentarily we still the thinking. And when we still the thinking, our nature infinite self is there all the time, and feeling that, we call that happiness. Happiness is nothing but feeling your real ultimate self. That is all it is. By releasing the desires, you undo the thoughts. You drop back to the unlimited you. That's called happiness. Lester Levinson was the one writing this. Said, we close the chapter by saying, take some time eliminating your wants and fall into happiness. So let's use this next week to write down all your wants with total innocence. That's the opportunity to grow. At the end, we are going to feel grateful for wanting, even from lack, because we are waking up through this, okay? So welcome. Write down all your wantings. Check, every time that you think about that you want that, if there is any sensation of contraction, resistance, lack, not having it, how comfortable you feel there. And if there's any discomfort, just allow that to pass through. And we talk next week, and next week we are going to start with chapter 7 that will explain. Well, next week we'll talk about this. I think we need to deepen in and to really integrate, But if we continue to the chapter 7, will be the vicious circle and the unstuck roadmap. So maybe we understand more about the strategy of suffering here. That is really a strategy from our unconsciousness, ego or sense of separation or something like that. So I'm very happy that we can, find another perspective. I think all of them say the same thing, really. The truth, capital letters, The thing is to see what approach can help us or dismantle, our tough and crystallized minds, to allow our beauty and our, true nature already happy, fulfilled, and whole. Okay? So with this, if nobody has to say anything more here, just remember to practice, to explore, to discover for yourself, not because someone says so. Or, some people, we just read, and then you think that just by reading you get it. No, I don't think so. From my experience, you have to be it, So I wish you a wonderful week. Anybody would like to say anything else, Arne?
Yes. Thank you so much. I think he answered many of my questions towards the end of this chapter, so I'm on track.
Beautiful. I feel good too. I think it's a wonderful chapter, and I've really enjoyed bringing it into my week and into my life. The wanting, as I made really not a very long list, and some of my wants sort of surprised me but they were good to write down because then you continue to use them in the exercises that follow. So it's really good to have something to grab, because there's a place also that you think you've released something and it doesn't feel like it's there anymore, but it's still, and you don't need to revisit that exact one, but it's good to have, good to know what you've been wanting, and then new doorways of what you've been wanting. Some of the better things, I want children to be fed. I want everybody to be clothed and happy, and things like that. Those kind of wants start surfacing when it's past, I want a new toothbrush and I want a new whatever. And the other thing is that I've really been noticing using the words want and need in my regular conversation. But I'll say a sentence that has one or the other in it, and then I'll have a moment to reflect. Okay, what was in there? What was the need? What is the want? And loving that too. So
beautiful. Well, thank you. That's what I like. Conscious entrepreneurs, like ready to practice and to explore. And to support each other. I believe so much that the more we embody prosperity consciousness, when there is no lack, you know, like the wholeness of who we truly are, the easier it's going to be for our entire world, you know, to change toward this frequency of prosperity that is what we are at the core, you know. So I love to have these techniques and then these other and then these other, just to keep playing and expanding here, and I feel very grateful for our weekly reunion here that is supporting me. I mean, this getting together every Saturday, I will not be doing what I'm doing if I was not getting together every Saturday. So I totally support anybody, you know, that really wants to do the work, you know, like come and join, you know, and perseverance, you know, every week a little drop here and it's changing for sure, you know. It's funny, like without even this book, to me lately I was less and less concerned about financial freedom, you know, than in the past. That was really my goal, and that's what I'm doing this. Right now I feel very happy, very content, very serene, you know, and I'm surprised. And I was telling Annie that, you know what, I'm happy here just the way this is. It's amazing, you know. So less escaping, more serene, more here. And it's happening, you know, with all the things that we are. So I think we are very close to just enjoy life maximum, and whatever it is that we want without the scarcity consciousness, we will allow easily, you know. So I just love the opportunity of this journey. Okay, well, with this, thank you so much, everyone, for participating. The ones that you want to be in the panel, remember, email Arne, A-R-N-E, @unlimitednetwork.com. And the ones that you are seeing this recording, also, thank you so much for dedicating your time. There is so many things that we can do instead of looking at video here, you know, but dedicating the time to prosperity consciousness. And have a wonderful week. And next Saturday, that is going to be the March 19, we get together again, and let's keep, you know, integrating this amazing letting go technique, you know, releasing technique that we are encountering here. So thank you, everyone. Have a wonderful week. See you next week. Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you.